Hello, everybody. My name is Troublemaker,
And I'm Rangroot.
and this is the 3v3 Tournament of Glorious Design.
Hosted by PLF. We're doing something very weird today. It's just an economy match on the map. I believe this is Alharis. I think it's Alharis. I'll check right after I see the team's names. But yeah, we have random team name on Nato. That's literally their name. Called MaxBooZe, Zrix, and ChrisRep89.
And for the Pact, we have the PLF featuring SikkeSakke, Hyo, and Juedgemann.
And the map is Alharis, so just double checked. So, economy, if I'll just explain it to you, it's all about not spending money. The score that they have is the team's cumulative point that they usually have in the top left corner. So to win is to not spend any money on units. And that's how you win. And holding these points, which are all +4 each.
Yeah, a very, very high point game, but I mean, it's not going to be that kind of game.
Yeah.
And it was weird because we looked at this, we're like, oh yeah, it's destruction, and then we looked at it like, no.
It's economy, which is...
We had to look at the rules and see, like, can they even do this? Is this allowed?
And they can. So yeah, very weird game mode. Not one that really anyone plays. It's one of the niche game modes now. But this would be quite interesting because you can't spam. Because if you spam, you lose. Because you have to keep buying units.
And pretty significant advantage is going to go to the Pact here because they only buy cheap units anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be a brutal match for random team name because they're going to have to use the cheap NATO units, which are the bad NATO units.
Yeah. Like compared, cheap NATO units aren't as good as cheap Pact units in all honesty.
So I don't really. I kind of thought PLF would sweep this, but now I'm kind of looking at it like this is any man's game.
This is just... I have no idea what's gonna go on. It's gonna be interesting to see what unveils.
I've played this game mode once in my life.
Yeah, same here.
I was just interested. Same thing with like that Fortress one and the attack. And there was a lot of weird stuff because there's no metagame for it. Like the team that we beat rushed out like 2 or 3 CVs. It was a 2v2, and we just crushed them with a giant army and won. We just rushed them. And I don't know what 2 good teams would do on this map though.
Yeah, same. This is just so
I'm bad. I'm a very bad
bizarre.
player.
And yeah, lots of units being brought out. Well, not too many. Oh yeah, both sides using full resource pool. And match to start any minute now because they can't buy anything else.
I mean, interesting fact, I said that Pact had the advantage. There's a T80U on the map.
Oh yeah, I see.
That's a little bit weird, even for this map, because there's a lot of towns, not a lot of open spaces.
Yeah, I think using the more expensive units would work better because in the long run they have survivability, so you don't have to keep replacing them with cheap units if you look at it in that direction. Yeah, no play spam, no plane spam at all.
No, I was not expecting for this. One Draken has come out just to kind of
Test the waters.
poke, see if there's anything out there, and there's not.
Both sides rushing right, and we're going to have quite a good collision in Echo. BMP Rondies moving up against a bunch of TGBs.
I don't know if there's a misclick on the bottom, but Juedgemann is sending 2 anti-air units to the bottom right corner. Possibly for helicopter spotters, but I'm not entirely sure. Because they're not recon units, they're anti-air units. We'll have to see, but the big engagements are happening, and usually the person who wins position can throw out a bunch of vehicles very cheaply and get ahead.
So Hyo's going to be getting into Echo with a bunch of flamethrower infantry, BMP 1Ds and BMPTs. He really brought out the anti-infantry force for this one.
Oh yeah, those sappers are just going to have a field day with this.
Yeah, and those Havermans, so they are going to get destroyed.
They used to be so good. Not anymore. actually able to get a command on that southern base, despite there being, you know, just a ridiculous amount of infantry in that position.
A little bit of an engagement on the top side, back and forth. Babs and AMXs firing onto the Saparis. Gonna have to fall back a little bit. No rushes into any of the top bases, which is quite interesting.
And one of the cool things about casting this kind of match is that you actually get to see their income. And it really sucks to kind of figure out who's winning.
Yeah.
But at least to get to see their income, how they're spending. And right now, random team name is not quite spending up to par. That's usually early on, like the guy who's rallying out units the fastest. You can tell he has a pretty solid actions per minute for this game.
It's all about doing more with less in this game mode. It's what it really tries and teach you to do that. Now it does seem like Juedgemann is going to have complete control over Foxtrot with all his infantry.
And we're going to have another command coming here from Juedgemann, so we're going to probably see a pretty decent sized point stack coming out of PLF pretty soon. But they've been using their money to invest in units, and that seems like the right play right now. If they can knock out a command or two, they can get a pretty significant advantage in the long run.
Just a few skirmishes back and forth. Echo being pretty much completely secured by Heil. Just a few Kurtjägers and Hervermans left.
You know how this could end?
How?
And this is going to be pretty brutal for Dallas. A timed ending. This could be a timed victory because if you are 4,000 points ahead of somebody, chances are you are 4,000 points worth of units less on the map.
Yeah.
I don't actually think this could end with a win, like a points win.
Unless you just get such a solid defense where you don't need to buy units anymore. Yeah, and it's probably it might be a timed victory. Yeah, we'll have to see because you're going to be getting a lot of points per tick. Because you've seen these guys getting like bloody 20 points a tick now, like income.
Well, they also when there comes a point when you look at the score, you see a guy with like 2,000 points in units. Well, you're going to attack into him with a big giant force, and you might take a base or two, and that's going to force him to spend money.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see how it goes. This is really bizarre.
Really bizarre game mode indeed.
And just the whole match. I mean, there's what's this? 90 infantry in the bottom here in the south, and there's a command in the south, and they're not even challenging that.
Nope, just holding on to what they got at the moment. They might try and neutralize Echo to stop the enemy from gaining any points because you really want to stop them from doing that.
But I mean, PLF have done pretty well in position. They don't really have that 4-point base in the bottom. I mean, they own it right now, but they shouldn't. But they're going to grab Foxtrot, which will be huge. I guess those 40 modal Strokies now will make the big difference.
Yeah. You have a lot of Mountaineers here near Foxtrot on the outskirts in those buildings, and they will be very hard to try and take out. There's so many of them all camped in there. All
yeah,
nice
this is... It's... I don't know why they did this to us. Why would they choose... It's in the rules, and that's what the bunch of disturbers these random team name guys are.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. Yeah, thank God it isn't Siege, because that's literally camp on one point and don't move. It's all just about one team defends and then the other team attacks, but defending in this game gives you so much more of an advantage. Siege wouldn't really be balanced at all. See,
when I play Siege, I play it very differently because you get a points advantage for being in the middle. I actually just all in. And it works a nice bit of the time. Because once you get to a reinforcement point, you can bring in more units with your points advantage. And so the other guy, realizing this, has to all in himself. And at that point, it's just whoever wins the all-in wins.
Indeed. PLF kind of gaining a point advantage at the moment. Hopefully they will be a little bit more cautious on their spending. I think probably the best thing to do in this game mode is just have 2 guys spend and then 1 guy just save up.
Yeah, you know, I was actually thinking that myself at the very beginning, because even this map doesn't really need 3 people.
No, you can easily defend out of 2. You have 1 guy up top with a few units here and there, and that's very easy to defend. Echo would probably need a lot of babysitting, and Foxtrot as well, but you could just have 1 player not spend anything, try to do good. PLF Juedgemann being very good at his points at the moment.
As long as you do that big giant opening push, you grab a lot of territory. It's easier to hold territory than it is to take it.
Yeah, I do like to also note, if you see the point you need to win goes down over time, every second.
Oh, well that makes this mode way more interesting.
Yeah, because the closer you get to the finishing timer, the longer the match goes on, the less points you need to win. So it kind of brings you to it. I actually just noticed that. It's pretty cool.
So maybe this will be a points victory. So we have massive infantry battles happening in the Echo base here, and there was a moment where random team name could have just completely taken that zone and wiped out the command there, but they basically lost that opportunity, and unfortunately it looks like they'll lose all those infantry as well.
Yeah, those BMP-1Ds are not to be messed with. That AGS-17 grenade launcher is godly powerful against infantry. Godly powerful.
It's really hard to position for the NATO here, because there's actually a giant open area.
Yeah.
And across from the bank, and if those BMP-1Ds get in the right position, they could actually wipe it out easily.
Quite easily indeed. And a move up, get those Hervermans and the IKV-90 run. They just go around the container.
I'll see what the Hervermans can do. They only have 9 real shots left, and there's a decent amount of BMP-1Ds. Could be the BMP-1D apocalypse coming up. Especially that flanking tank destroyer down the IKV, just kind of ripping them a new one.
Yeah, so that's in a great position because it's actually deleted now. Anything that comes around that corner is going to get popped by the IKV. And that IKV it's a pretty decent 25-point vehicle tank. I don't even know where it's in the vehicle section, to be honest. It's a full-on tank.
Appears to be Swedish.
I think 1 guy is all Swedish because I saw a guy use the RBS-90, which is the best AA infantry unit in the game.
Here you go again with the best AA infantry unit in the game.
I thought it was Estrella 2s, but now it's the RBS-90. And they're just fight over Echo. Bit of back and forth between both sides.
Now you got the sappers in here, so if they can get some napalm off, they will easily press through. They might be holding off on their napalm just so the BMP-1Ds can slide through that territory easily. But there are more Hovermans on the way on the route, so it won't be so easy.
Yep. Both sides sort of saving up a little bit more now. Juedgemann and MaxBooZe really giving their team most points. Hopefully it'll just be very conservative with their spending, because this is what this game mode is all about.
It's all about fiscal responsibility and making good budgets.
It's kind of like real life.
Or the US government. We're going to stage a lockout of Wargame Airland Battle. It'll have no effect on anything, just like the US lockout. Obamacare.
This bit back and forth and Echo, some ATGM helicopters from Sweden, shoot some ISOs into the BMP-1Ds, get a few shots up in there. SCRV in a very good position down the road, just constantly giving a shot after shot into the enemy tanks. SCRV, a pretty cool tank, was designed to really fight in forest because of its low profile, so it's kind of glided very well. That's why it was, that's why it doesn't have a turret.
If only Hitler had them. Yeah, have you ever seen pictures of the chainsaw tanks?
Chainsaw tanks?
Yeah, Hitler had a complement of chainsaw tanks that were just cutting through the forest.
Yeah, it's like...
Because they actually had to go through a forest in order to do the original move into France. There's always pictures that circulate of tanks with chainsaws on them.
Like big chainsaws? Like something out of 40k?
Big giant saw blades, like timberjack blades.
So it's like a very early like lumberjack machine.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. It was all armored though, of course, because they want to use them as to absorb any enemy damage to their...
Like an engineer tank.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, that is a weird design.
But I don't know if it's real or not. That's the thing. Pictures are out there. There are people talking about them, but there's no actual historical documents indicating that there's such a thing or that it's real. Like it could all be, because there's lots of like Nazi fraud is like the top fraud stuff.
Yeah,
everyone's trying to fake Nazi stuff.
It's quite true. Ancient aliens built the pyramids.
Hitler was obsessed with religion and mystical stuff.
God, do I love the History Channel.
Stars.
A bit of a movement in Foxtrot, SikkeSakke moving up some BTRs with flamethrower tanks, or flamethrower infantry inside. They're going to get burned up by the Zippos, a bit ironic, but that's how Wargame usually goes.
To me, in terms of balance, these napalm infantry should actually die faster to fire than anyone else, because they have gasoline on their backpack, right?
So extra burning. Oh, I see.
Yeah. And I know that, you know, that's not exactly how gasoline works, and I know that's just how Hollywood works, but...
Wargame.
We'll see it in Red Dragon.
Everything will be in Red Dragon. Even dragons. With fiery claws.
Unlocked in the free DLC.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a stalemate. But PLF gaining to 1,000 points at the moment. And that's Juedgemann. Really
that's pretty much why it's a stalemate. And PLF could probably just continue mopping up the map, but it looks like they're trying to bank up their lead as much as possible.
Yeah, just so close to, well, a lot more closer to victory than Nato at the moment. And the longer the match goes, the closer they get to victory, because the score to win does go down.
And they got, like, one more base on the enemy. They have a single extra 4 points per 3 seconds. So, I mean, it's really hard for a random team name to come back. They'll have to spend nothing
to get a lot.
And then just be insanely cost effective.
Yeah, just campiness.
Yeah, I think this is easily the funnest mode to watch it evolve.
Yeah. Let's get our tents and sniper rifles, and let's all camp DE dust too.
After this, you want to go watch some grass grow? Or something?
No, I got an appointment later with my drywall. It's getting painted.
Oh, damn. Can I come over and watch?
So, mate. I get you a plane ticket and all.
Awesome. So you don't actually live near each other.
I know. But kind of near. We live in the same country.
Well, to be fair, like, you know, the distance between our provinces is like...
country size.
Yeah, there's like 100 countries in Europe. That's how Europe works, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. You have Luxembourg, which is literally just as shitty.
Did you say city or shitty?
Shitty.
Oh no.
Like run.
Yeah, Vatican City.
Yeah, it's tiny. It's literally a little part of a city.
But they are a country, and they are one of the wealthiest countries in the world. Well, so is Luxembourg, actually. Like,
yeah.
When you look at the top countries in the world by per capita, it's like Kuwait, United Arab Emirates, Luxembourg, and Vatican City.
Yeah, because they don't have many people in it, so it kind of skews the statistics, I guess.
And I guess everyone there is a billionaire. Helps a lot too.
A little bit back and forth action. Artillery being used is actually a very good mode for artillery because it doesn't cost a lot and you can get quite a few kills with it.
As long as you can sit next to one of those FOBs, which this is probably one of the only modes where FOBs are
invaluable because you want to keep your supply trucks alive, so you don't have to buy more.
And I can just imagine that all the airplanes, because they're free supply, if they're used right, they would just dominate this.
You have an F-18 Hornet being brought out and try and get some kills, but the AA... Look, get it? Oh, the Boog could snipe it, but... Oh, it does misses. The F-18 cannon get out of there scot-free. And actually kills the Boog in the process. Damn.
Ouch.
Ouch. That's still a lot of... That's a lot to lose.
So we're about 1/3 of the way through, according to PLF's scoreboard here. PLF have been very good with their taxes this year. I've seen a refund of 500 plus points.
Yeah, I love all the areas they hold are of infantry, and you don't really have to resupply infantry too much compared to tanks and you know, support units and all that rubbish. So they can easily just hold on to Echo and Foxtrot and go with what they have.
It has been taking their toll a little bit on middle. They're running pretty low in infantry, but they do have a lot of sappers, and they're spread out, and they can act as kind of a gate. So that they'll slow down any kind of infantry advance. Yeah. So that should work out pretty well for them.
Bunch of UAZ recon are coming out from Ohio. He really wants to spot the enemy. He's going to spread them all out.
Yeah, that's a kind of a weird choice. There was a metagame where these particular recons were insanely popular, but they've just been replaced by the Spec Ops teams. But oh, I know what he wants to do.
What does he want to do?
He wants to move this down to the bottom where the BMP-1Ds are down and spot the enemy command so the BMP-1Ds can kill it. That's exactly what he's going to go for.
Oh, yeah, because they have like 1,500 range. They can hit.
Yeah, and what they're going to do, they can't fire right now because every time they spot, they spin up and then they lose vision.
Yeah.
But if he has recon there, profit.
Yeah.
If he gets vision, that is.
Detective Troublemaker on the case.
Which is not even clear that he's going to get vision, but he could get vision. He's just moving it around to find out.
Park it right next to Red Crane, and that'd be very good.
And he didn't get vision.
No.
But it was worth a try. It's a cheap unit, so I mean, he's really just using these to recycle other units he has already.
Yeah. Well, it'd be pretty cool if you had a Red Crane right on the tip of the harbour. Battlefield, just climb up it and put a little Spetsnaz squad and just see the whole unit. It'd be really silly, but it'd be quite cool. There's like a little box there where you could just hide and poke out of an SVD.
I can imagine the commercials already. Climbing up in cranes for shipping purposes in Red Dragon.
Manage your own shipping company in Red Dragon. In the Asian ship, or in Asia. A little bit
DLC.
Bit of a push here from NATO into Foxtrot, Abrams and Rifleman. Yeah, the Mi-24s are right here to stop any sneaky peeky business or any business at all, actually.
Yeah, the sappers lay down a bit of fire and they're slowed down a lot of this. But he's doing this pretty cost effectively, which is basically because everyone's saving money, that you're not going to respond to every emergency.
Yeah.
So they move forward. They saw the sappers, and now they're like, that's a bad idea. Let's mortar this area first, and then we'll move forward with something.
Yep. PLF getting close to the victory score now, almost at 2,000 from 3,000.
If they actually have indicators for how close they are, like 90% win, that would get really bad if they kept spinning. And just...
Yeah, because just keep resetting over and over and over. 90%, 90%, 90%. Stop spending units.
Please just win the game already. Yeah, they have almost double the score of random team name. RTN.
Random team name. Why? What random name?
But he's here all week, ladies and gentlemen. No, but basically both teams are not spending, and for random team name, I think they should be doing the opposite. I think they should be hyperspending.
Yeah, because they really need to.
They got an opportunity to really kick some butt here, capture a few zones, and actually just win with a rush. As long as they can do it fast enough.
Yeah.
Because right now, with their current strategy, which is basically to try and abuse expensive airplanes, and it's just not fast enough.
Nighthawk actually coming in, going to be dropping in a 1,000-pounder, right on top of those Sapperies. Oh! All 30 of them just hitting the dust to good old J-Downs. All pay for it. It's pay for it. Oh, that's 70%.
Yeah, they're going to get a little spam here now, as they continue to spend slight amounts of money. And, looking at how PLF has played this, it looks like SikkeSakke is the only one spending, and they actually have 2 people saving. Whereas, with a random team name, it kind of looks like they're all spending and saving.
They're trying to even it out a little bit.
That's how best friends play games. Like, if you loan me $5, it means you owe me $5.
But it must be kind of boring for Juedgemann and Ohio, because they can't really do anything. They can't bring any more units into the front line. So all they can do is sit back and camp and watch their teammate do all the work.
They probably just left the computer. Like, SikkeSakke, like, this one's all you, man. Go to it. We're walking the dogs.
Yep. Have a sour.
Making a sandwich.
Talking to my girlfriend.
They're probably Russia, so they're probably at the Olympics coming up rather later.
So I'll be back and you better win this for me, okay? Cool, thanks, bye.
Whereas like random team name are like, why did you lose this for me? Bunch of losers.
Yeah, PLF very close to the victory score at the moment. Probably in like maybe 2 to 3 minutes and they will win.
Yeah, and their key to success here was they had a really powerful, potent starting push. And once they got their position, they just sat on it. And this random team name just wasn't forceful enough to try and grab ground.
Yeah, they're trying to be very forceful at the moment, actually neutralising Foxtrot and moving a little bit into Echo, but so close to victory at PLF could just do nothing at the moment and probably just win.
Oh yeah, they only need 400 points. I mean, there's another command coming out here regardless. I'm almost certain that command won't pay off.
Not on the time.
I could be wrong. Let's see. They need...
Get the calculator out.
No, it won't pay. It'll work out to a 20-point profit if they plop it right now without losing it.
Oh, he actually did the math, right? Yeah, it would be it. That's quite fast. And, yep, there's like 200 points left to need to gain, 90%.
That of course, I wasn't counting the fact that the other score goes down. I mean, that's just astronomical. They have 2 commands coming out here, I guess. Juedgemann has 1, and SikkeSakke has...
They're going to try snipe CV and Juliet. Oh, will they get the CV and Juliet? Nope. 1 HP, it's done 1 HP to holding on to dear life.
Yes, it most certainly will be over very, very soon. So that's our first tournament economy game.
Yeah, very, yeah, it's not much to really say, a bit of a slow match.
I feel like everyone has become officially an accountant after this match, and yeah, the score says it all. I mean,
this look, PLF did not get the kill advantage, but they still won because they just held on to what they got and didn't spend anything.
Well, they got the kill advantage early on, but they just didn't. They didn't spend like 2,000 units, which is what the difference is. You're in the kills and the losses, so yeah.
And yeah, I'm Angry.
Yeah, I'm Troublemaker.
Take it easy.